Welcome to Wintercrest. Yes, I am in Pilot Build Cities Skylines 1 snow build, and he has kindly welcomed me to his city, and I'm going to build him a central park. I am so excited. Let's get started. All right, well, let's get started. I think I'm going to use this main collector as a guide to figure out where I want to actually put the central park. So we're just going to drag this out, and I'm going to leave some room to curve this around. As I can see, this could very easily turn into a bridge to go over to the other side of Pilot City if he decides to do that. Let's just grab, I don't really want bike roads. Let's just grab a dirt road for some planning first. Let's start with that. I love to do that. So I want this to be a fairly large central park, but I don't want it to, I don't want people pulling straight off of the collector to go into the park. So I do want to create some space in between the collector and the road that will go around the park. So I'm just going to create some space here for that. And what I want to do here is just create a simple design so far as the shape of the park, nothing fancy. The thing that I am already thinking about in my head is when you're building a park that is going to be surrounded by tall buildings, and it's going to be, your main central park in your downtown area, the functionality of that park for the citizens, a lot of it needs to be focused on outdoor recreation. Because if you're in the city, like surrounded by pavement, you want to be able to escape to a park. You want to have open space. So I'm going to be thinking about leaving lots of open space. I'm going to be thinking about bringing in some sports type facilities for, playing baseball or throwing a frisbee, things like that. And then you also want to think about dog walkers, joggers, runners, and cyclists. So that's going to be like a main focus that I'm really going to put my attention on, making sure we have facilities for all of those different uses and separating them a bit, because I think that will end up really helping the park become very usable for many different people for many different purposes. Now, this road that I'm pulling through here, this is a green belt, and I think, whatever Pilot ends up wanting to do with it, it's fine. I'm pulling it over here because you could end up with a nice pedestrian bridge across to the other side. And then this green belt is running through the whole downtown, so it'll be really easy for Pilot to connect that up to other neighborhoods, so that way someone could easily walk to the park depending on where they live. And the green belt could be extended too. So I'm going to turn this into a pedestrian road, which will end up being the quote-unquote like urban green belts. I think I'm going to create a little dead-end loop here, and then Pilot can do what he wants with that whenever he decides to build around this area. So I'm just going to do something really simple here. And Pilot, you can do what you want with this later on, of course. But I think this will just be like a nice little, actually I think I want, yeah, that'll work. A nice little turnaround. Like I could see potentially maybe putting a little shopping area there or something like that. So who knows, whatever the downtown develops into, I'm excited. This is really fun for me too, because I'm coming in and I'm building the park, and then I'm going to be able to watch all of Pilot's episodes and watch how the downtown develops around this area. So that's going to be very exciting for me. Okay, so we have our quote-unquote urban greenbelt that's going through our central park. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to remove the trees. There you go. Let's make some room here. And then again, I really want to think about the different uses for the different pedestrian uses. So I want like a dirt path for like dog walking. I want a dedicated bike path. All that's going to be really important. I think I'm just going to go, Actually, this is going to be a downtown area, so we should have a 4-lane road kind of on the outskirts of the park, not the inner road of the park. So let me upgrade these. I'm also trying to like future-proof this area a bit and thinking about how that's going to work. And then just we'll do the regular road with trees throughout, kind of like the road that's going to encompass the park. And then we'll attach it into our 4-lane road, which hopefully will help. Again, just thinking about how busy a downtown can get and future traffic. Okay, I'm rethinking a little bit of this on the fly because I do want room for kind of like a grand park entrance. So I think what I'll do on this other side is this will be a regular road, and then we will create the 4-lane road, give it some space around it, kind of like we've done on the other side, and then that way we can create like a nice grand entrance into the park from there. Something like that will work. Okay, now I'm going to think about our, what I'm going to call like the inner pedestrian loop, even though it will be on the outside of the park, but it will all make sense, I promise. So I'm just grabbing a dirt road and this, or a dirt path, and this is what I can imagine joggers using, or people walking their dogs, or just like a nice casual walk around the park. So that's what this is going to be used for. So I'm just going to attach these on the corners here. I think this is going to be so nice. If I lived in a downtown, I would love to live near a nice big park where you had some really nice pedestrian facilities just for simple recreation, like walking the dog or taking a jog or a walk is always nice. Especially like when you can go somewhere in the morning and grab a coffee and go for a nice walk. The best thing ever. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm calling like the inner pedestrian loop, even though that is on the outside of what the main park will be. So now I want to think about bringing in a dedicated bike facility. So I think I'm actually going to have to change this up again. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. This doesn't need to be the 4-lane here. I don't think we need that, but I do want to create some more space here. So I am going to bring this here. Let's line this up. And again, like so far as when Pilot comes to design his downtown, of course, all of this, you know, it'll be what it needs to be, so it can change if it needs to change. But what I wanted to do is create a little space so that I can have an outer loop that is larger than the pedestrian loop that would be for cyclists, for cycle recreation. So if you want to just like cycle around the park, not necessarily focusing on getting from point A to point B, that's not what this would be for. This is just like thinking about recreation. If you wanted to grab on your bike and bike around the park, or you know, if you had kids on bikes and you wanted to go bike around the park, that way you're not disrupting the walkers and the runners or people walking their dogs. It's just dedicated for cyclists and specifically just around recreation versus getting around. Now we know the game doesn't use it that way, but people will end up using it. So I like having the uses separated. I feel like it gives more value, especially when you're talking about a park that is going to be in a dense urban area. Providing these types of facilities just increases the value of living in a downtown neighborhood. So I love this. I think this is going to be great. And yes, I know we're on a snow map. It's not really realistic that people are jogging and walking and riding their bike, but it's, you know, you can imagine it's not snow all year round, you know, and even so, people get out. People get out. Okay, so we're upgrading this now to a pedestrian road. So this will be like the main pedestrian promenade around the park. And I know some people are having like, Joy, what are you doing? Pedestrian path, pedestrian path, pedestrian path. But like this dirt path, again, like I said, is for runners, walking the dog, kind of more of that recreation, where this green belt going through the park and the pedestrian road lining the park is more to be able to get to the facilities inside the park and have a more casual jaunt. I like this one. This one's good. This is the tree. This is the tree. Oh, I love this tree. This is perfect. All right, so this will be our green belt tree. So I love this. I love this tree. I love that it's mostly white, so it's like got the snow on it. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, but it almost sparkles a little bit. And then we'll use this other one. Oh, we're gonna stick with kind of like this family of trees for this park. I have never seen these before. I need to get these for my builds. I think these are the cutest trees. Of course, I don't know what they look like outside the snow, but I really like this style. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's do these for our road here. That's one thing, if you watch any of my videos, you know I love picking a palette of trees, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 trees, and then I stick with that for the build. Oh, these look so cute. I love these. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Okay, this is gonna work perfect for a like grand entrance into the park, which I want to create. I really like this one. I know there's one that's bigger than this, but I think this small one kind of fits what I'm going for here. I love that Pilot has these little roads. This is gonna be perfect for lining our parking lot. So let's get those in. Okay, this is perfect. Again, I know it's winter. Maybe we should have used the parking garage, but honestly, you know, ever since we got that update where we actually got these parking lots, do you guys remember how excited we were over our parking lots? I'm still excited about the parking lots. Oh, that was such a fun drop when we got those for Cities Skylines 1. I was like, oh my gosh, parking, finally. We were all so psyched. So fun, so fun. Oh my gosh, I love this game. Okay, so now I want to think about connecting all these different pedestrian uses together. So we are going to want to take a regular pedestrian path and hook it up from the main entrance all the way through to our dedicated bike facilities, to the main outer road, to the inner pedestrian dirt path, into the like more official pedestrian road that goes around the park. So I'm just trying to, I don't usually play with this mod, so just give me a second. I'm trying to get this figured out here. Okay, so I think we'll just take a regular path here and we're just gonna bring this across and attach all these facilities up together. This is gonna be so great. No matter what you've come to do in the park, from the entrance, you can hop on to a varied option of pedestrian facilities, which I love. It's overkill, but I like it. Everything for all the pedestrians. Okay, I think this is looking really cute. You guys will have to let me know what you think so far. So I'm thinking in this main entrance area, we definitely need to grab, yes, this is what I want. We're gonna do some mirroring, the same thing on both sides. I love that look. Functionally, do you need both visitor centers? No, but you can imagine they're different uses. And we're gonna do the dual restrooms. And then let's just do a touch of detailing in here. This is so cute. You know, detailing on a map that's not in snow is really fun, but I honestly love detailing on a snow map. It's really nice. I don't mind it at all. I think it's really, I've always really enjoyed it. It's very pretty. Okay, so, wow, look at, we've got our grand entrance now. We are on a roll. I love this. This is so clean and sharp, what I was looking for. Very organized. Okay, so I want to think about bringing in the park maintenance building. I also want to bring in police and fire, and then I also want to think about, we're gonna need a pedestrian collection building, because the park isn't going to be painted with like the park from the park DLC. We have so many great assets now that honestly I'm going to be using very much from like the OG park DLC. We're going to be using a lot from the new stuff that we've gotten recently and just make this like basically a pedestrian area, which I'm very excited about. There have been times in the past I've done bigger parks and I've mixed like a little bit of like painting a park and a little bit of the pedestrian area. But I think for this, in this kind of urban area, I think it's going to work just to use assets that just like to be placed on roads anyways. So we'll see how it goes. I love these little tiny, police and fire station that we got with the seaside. They are kind of too tiny. The scale's a little off on them, but they're adorable. And look, it's so nice that we can fit a little police and fire station right here in the corner. So let's get this detailed up. This is looking so cute. I'm obsessed with it. I hope you guys are liking it. Okay, all I want to do here is just create a little bit of fencing, because I can see Pilot zoning in maybe some nice shopping right outside the park, or maybe some fancy apartment buildings if you wanted to live like right on the park. So we're not going to put anything in this area. Again, I'm just going to fence it off to facilitate future zoning, because that would be very valuable land. Okay, and on the opposite side, I think the botanical gardens is like the perfect fit for this part of the park. And again, we'll just put some fencing around to facilitate future zoning, and we'll do a little detailing on our corner, and then we can get started on moving into the park. I think this is so exciting. I love making parks. This is like my favorite thing. So thank you, Pilot, because this was like a perfect video to like come back to creating like an edited video, because I love building a park. This is so much fun. Okay, let's get a little detailing down in this corner and then we can move on. Okay, now I'm going to focus our attention on our bike facilities, our recreational bike facilities. So I think I just want to do simple fencing and simple lines of trees just to create a nice biking path, create a little bit of separation with the trees from the road here, and just kind of create a nice little environment. So let's go ahead. Actually, I think I'll do the trees on the outside of the fence, just so that way if you had to pull your bike off the path for whatever reason, there was plenty of room to do that. So I'm just going to use this pattern all the way around, just some fencing and these trees. So let me do that real quick. Okay, and then we have this road coming like basically across our park. This would be a secondary park entrance, so I'm just going to detail this up a little bit. And then on this side here, I also just want to create a little space here so we can have another small connection that connects all of our pedestrian facilities together. And then we can continue on finishing up our little tree and fence around our bike facilities. Let's just put a crosswalk right there and right there. Perfect. I think this is going to be a nice spot to come and ride your bike. Okay, let's do this last little spot right here. Okay, and I don't want to neglect this corner here. This would be technically another entrance into the park, so let's copy what we've done elsewhere with just a little parking and the restroom. So let's make a little room here. I am loving how this park is already starting to come together. This looks so cool. I am all about this. Okay, next we're going to think of that inner loop that is our dirt path around the central park, that it will be for joggers or walking a dog. So again, we want to create, I do want to create another pedestrian connection here. So let's do that first real quick. Okay, for our, we'll call this our jogging path, our dog walking path, I actually want to do rocks instead of fencing, just to have a little variety. So we're gonna do this spacing. I think this is gonna look really nice. So I'm gonna do the rocks all along the inside, and then we'll pick a nice small tree or low bush for the outside. I think this is gonna end up looking really nice from those first person views. Okay, I think this is gonna be the right height bush. Yes, I like this a lot. So let's bring this all the way around. Okay, now I want to work on the corners. So the thing I want to do with all of these corners is we're definitely gonna connect up a pedestrian path, but I don't want to connect it up to the main pedestrian road here that goes on the outside of the park. I just want to connect it to the dirt pedestrian, so it's just a way that you could hop on to the path that goes around. I want to make sure each of these corners have a couple of these little dog facilities, and we definitely want a little restroom as well. Yeah, we've got the trash can and the water. I think that's fine. Let's do a few benches. I think a table or two would be good as well. I just want to create these four corners of the park to be a place where you could, like, you know, you can imagine if someone's just like getting started on their fitness journey, or they're walking with kids or a dog or whatever, like, to know that at each corner you have like this little spot with like a restroom and a place to sit. It's just probably reassuring and nice to know that those facilities are always close and accessible, which I really appreciate. Gosh, I love these trees. I have to get these for my city. Pilot, I need to get these. These are my favorite new things. I love them. At least they look great in the snow. I actually don't know what they look like outside of the snow, but they're perfect. Okay, so we've got our little template for each corner. So I'm just gonna repeat this basically on all four corners of the park, and I think it's just going to add so much value to these pedestrian facilities. I love it. Okay, this section that is on the outside of our main central park is going to be for sports fields. Now, I have 3 of the fields set aside here. I know they don't look like anything in the snow. They just look kind of blank, but I love the idea of them, and honestly, if you're going to have some sort of big park like this in the middle of the city, I love the idea of bringing in some sort of sports facilities like this. So even though we can't really appreciate how really beautiful these sports fields are, by the way, remember we got these when we got the parking. Oh my gosh, that was the best ever. That was so exciting to get all of these really beautiful sports fields. Love it, love it. Okay, again, I know they don't look like anything in the snow, but I like the idea of them here, and they do look like a little something. You know, it's not nothing. You can still imagine, and you know, we're just on a real snowy day. That's all. I kind of like it. All right. No, I'm not really liking this. I don't think we actually need this additional road here. I think we can just kind of dead end this facility here. I think that works. Okay, we definitely want to bring in, connect up to all of our other pedestrian facilities there. And I think we just need some fencing and some detailing around here, and that will bring this area of the park all together. Okay, I think this looks really cute. Even though they're completely covered in snow, I actually think it turned out really nice. I think it's a really nice addition to our park here. I like it. You guys have to let me know if you think it's pointless to have these when you can't really see them. But I think they're cute. Okay, let's clean up this little corner right here. Now comes the really, really fun part. I don't actually have a plan in my head of all the things that I want to put inside the Central Park. I do know that I want to utilize some of the specific snowfall DLC assets in parks, so I know that. And I want to make sure that I do have like a field that's just open space for people to use. And outside of that, I really don't have a plan. Oh good, some of Larry's stuff is in here too. Oh, this is great. Oh, fantastic. How fun is this? So I think, you know, I'm just going to grab a collection of things and design around them, landscape around them as it kind of comes to me. I think we'll also use some of those sidewalk cafes and some of those teeny tiny parks as well. I'm just gonna have fun with it and pack this park full of so much stuff that it's gonna be like the best park that people want to come to from all over the city, because it's got everything for everybody inside the park. But the thing that I think is going to be so valuable about this park for the citizens that live downtown is that we put so much time and care into creating these very specific pedestrian recreational facilities that kind of line the outside of the park. Yes, we're going to have all this fun stuff in the park, but I think that just makes it so valuable when you can live somewhere that you can walk out your door or just go a few blocks and be able to go on a jog, walk your dog, or ride your bike. I just think for me, that's something I so appreciate in real life, and I just think that it really helps the quality of living when you have access to park facilities like that. I think it makes everything better. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I love parks. I really do. It's the best. So, fun little fact while I'm detailing here is I used to live in Brooklyn for a long period of time, and I used to, every Sunday, I would go walk around Central Park. It's just what I did. I loved it. It was so great. And, you know, that park is so huge. There's so much to explore. It's just such a beautiful place. I love that. Yeah, I used to go walk around Central Park And then after, I would take myself to a movie every single Sunday because I love movies. So I would grab a popcorn and a soda and just go watch whatever movie was out at that time. And I used to spend my Sundays to myself, and I loved it. I loved it. It was the best. I didn't always spend every Sunday alone. I really enjoyed that. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just kind of playing with these assets, seeing what I want, and then I'm just going to use the dirt paths and some rocks and trees and just kind of fill in around it and just make it feel really vibrant. This to me is just so much fun. And then of course we'll paint in our pedestrian area so that everyone is happy. But yeah, I'm loving these trees. I think they're so cool. I've never used them before. I love how they look, and yeah, this is really gonna come together so nice. I'm just loving this. I love parks. I love parks. So cool. Okay, I think this space right here is going to be perfect for kind of our open field. I'm going to line it with trees to give it a bit more definition, and then we'll definitely pull just like a dirt path through it, but this will kind of be our open field area. Okay, we already put in the small sidewalk cafe, but I want to grab one of the larger ones. Yeah, one of these guys. And let's change this out. Yes, I like that. Has a bit of a modern look to it. And let's move it, and we'll kind of put it in a corner and make a thing of it. I love these assets. Okay, we are getting low on money, so I'm just going to let this run for a little bit. It's exciting because I guarantee we're going to see people start coming over from the main part of the city because, look, yeah, it's going to happen. We have all these cool things here. Oh yeah, people are already showing up. That's awesome. I just want to make some more money in here, so I'm just gonna let this run. But yeah, I love the footprint of this park. It is quite massive. I'm so excited to see how Pilot decides to develop around this. That's just gonna be so exciting to watch. I'm thrilled. How fun to like build this first before everything else comes in. Yeah, look at all the cars coming in. I really want the sleigh ride, but honestly, oh no, did I mess this up again? I'm not used to these things. Bear with me, guys. I really wanted the sleigh ride, but it's really expensive, and I think of those one of the assets you can only use once. So I think I'll leave that for Pilot for when he feels like he wants to use that. There's so many other things we could put in this park instead of the sleigh ride, and that might be really fun somewhere else. So let me take a think and see what I want to put in here that will be a little bit more economical. Yeah, I think this park will look really nice. Yes, and we can attach a little path. And, you know, maybe we bring in another little cafe here. Nothing wrong with having, that would give us 3 total cafes in the park, which I feel like is a really nice, because you can imagine maybe one's just like a little coffee shop. The bigger one is like the restaurant, and maybe the other one is, you know, a pastries or something. I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe one is like more a holiday themed kind of place. So anyways, we'll use our imagination. I think that's really cute. I like this a lot. I think we can do without the sleigh ride. We can fill this up, no problem. There's so much stuff in this game we can use. Okay. All right, let's maybe think about if this is the entrance over here, you're coming into the park. Oh, you know what we should grab is the little tourist booths. These are actually really cute. Yes, this one, and then I want the third variation. Come on, all right, you're gonna be a pain. There we go, with all the little booths, yes. Oh, I like this. And yes, I normally always do some sort of farmer's market, and I didn't in this build. I think like that could be a fun thing that Pilot could maybe do around this if he felt like it. But I also wanted to, you know, I can imagine there being lots of tall buildings around this and stuff, so I didn't bring in a farmer's market. But that little tourist building will suffice as our farmer's market for this Joy build. Wow, there's so much stuff in here we could play with. So many things. Oh, you know what? We should grab that museum. Yes. Oh, and then there's that little pool that looks like a sauna that came with the snowfall. It's a little ploppable building. That would be super cute. What else do we have in here? Gosh, there's so many things that we could make work. That's that new, I don't think I want any animals in this. Oh, should we put a Ferris wheel? Oh, we should put a little Ferris wheel. That would be super cute. Okay, but I want you to see this better when you come into the entrance. So let's switch these up. What is this? A hot springs? Oh, wait a minute. How would this look in here? Oh my gosh. Yes. Because I'm imagining, oh, this is so perfect. Okay, wait, I know what I want. Yes, this little pool. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. This museum is actually like going to be like the spa sweat lodge, and then we have the outdoor hot springs, and then we have this pool. So it's kind of like that type of facility right in the park. I think that's so cool. Do I want to put a little hotel over here? No, I'm gonna leave all the outside stuff to Pilot to build around what he wants. Oh, I love the combination of these three though. It's like you can go to the park and go to the spa in the winter or the summer. I think that's really cute. Okay, let's detail the rest of this up, and then we're almost done. Or maybe we are done. This is so cute. I love how this park came together. Okay, a little bit more detailing, and then we'll do some first person and some cinematics.
Ocean floor, Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.